thumbs up.
Hey, welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam Miller and Jess Anderson, episode 2.
Hey, we did
You got the air horn thing on there, Trey? Episode 2. No, air horns. People know there's not that many people in here with us.
No, we don't got no air horns.
What?
Oh.
Okay, I can do it, though. I can do a really
You were
good...
late and you don't have any air horns?
That's pretty good.
I see how podcast production is going to be from here on out.
Is
Late, no air horns. What else? What else is going on?
couldn't really take a good picture.
Can't take pictures.
I don't want to add. I don't want to add
late,
on.
No air horns?
There's just not a lot that Trey is really bringing to the table.
Yeah. In a business, in sports, that's 3 strikes. Late, no air horns,
Yeah.
shitty pictures.
You can't bowl with us anymore. You're out.
Yeah. Anyway, Trey's doing good. He's doing the best he can. So,
He-
did you get
well-
your tire filled up? Mm-hmm. Is it staying full?
Yeah.
He
Okay,
did get his
good.
tire, and he also did hook up everything else. And
Yeah.
he
There's
is
a lot of
he is
cords
doing
here.
a lot of other things.
Feels
so.
like I'm working back at the snake farm. Did I ever tell you I used to work at a snake farm?
You didn't.
Yeah, for a long time. 'Cause snakes are long. It was really hard because I don't like skinny women. So it was hard working at the snake farm.
Is that the reason that you don't want comics on the show?
Why? Because they're going to judge my amazing
That kind of
content?
material.
Yeah, well, you brought it up. So
Yeah.
there is a thing with this show. We have not had a guest yet. We do plan on having guests. This
Eventually.
is episode 2. I haven't really scheduled any guests. I am actually okay with having comedians on the show,
Okay.
but I don't really just want to sit around and talk about stand-up comedy
Okay.
because I don't think that people enjoy comedians talking about comedy all the time.
Except us.
Sometimes.
Oh, that's much better. Trey.
Yeah. Well, he'll remove that post anyway. But I am fine talking about some of the feelings I have around comedy. I'm happy talking about the anxiety that this passion has brought up in my life. I'm happy with talking about some of the places that I go.
Yeah, because we have a lot of comedy in common.
Yes, we do stuff. We are going to Eureka. Actually, as people hear this, we'll probably already have been to Eureka.
And hopefully did great. I assume we did wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about guests all the time. I think we're going to have cartoonist Pat Moriarty. He has amazing. He came to Bellingham with me last night. He did
I really like him.
Yeah, he's great, and he did the album art for my album that hasn't come out yet. He also has amazing stories with. I mean, he's worked with like Henry Rollins, Charles Bukowski. Like, it's really wild.
Yeah, he just
stuff.
seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, and he's very surprising too. So, for those of you who don't know, I recorded an album called Round Trip. Is the name of my upcoming album. I am signed to Stand Up Records. Dan Schlessel, he's a great guy. He won a Grammy. It's really wild. I thought about releasing a stand-up album independently, but I have issues with organization, and I just rather have a label, and so I decided to sign to a label, and that's the label that I wanted to be on, and it was really hard.
Yeah, you
I
just did that.
I sent him 7 1-hour videos thereabouts of me doing what I thought was going to be the album, and then I would get feedback, and then I would like adjust it.
From Pat or from
Dan.
Oh. Yeah, I
from
can't even
Dan.
imagine.
It was intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pat and me went to Bellingham last night and had amazing conversations and talked about all kinds of stuff and talked about another collaboration that we're going to work on, which is something that I'm okay with talking about this, and that is that I am indeed working on a book.
What?
Yeah.
Well, get those claps going. Get those claps going.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be some form of like a graphic novel sort of with silly cartoons, almost like one panel, like Far Side style cartoons of like these stupid jokes that I write. It's funny because I write one-liners, but I rarely do one-liners on stage.
Right.
because it doesn't really fit my style, but I write jokes like that consistently. And I wrote jokes for you guys once we get to
Speaking of, yeah.
that bit.
You said you wrote them on the way here.
I wrote them on the way here.
Yeah. I can't write a one-liner to save my life.
You can't?
Like, no, I feel like I am like Bob Dylan when it comes to writing a joke. Like it starts at the short, it's like 14 pages.
You're
and
an
then we've
old
got
guitarist.
Well, it's wordy.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like, so I have a hard time doing just a boom, like, you know.
Yeah, and it doesn't really fit. I do tags. Like there's some of these one-liner jokes like have you heard the one about when I'm doing my COVID stuff and I say COVID was really rough for me. I was at Safeway and I yawned and I swallowed my mask.
Yeah.
So that was like a one-liner that I wrote. Have you ever heard that, Trey? Yeah. That's pretty. You didn't laugh.
He's laughing now.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's laughing.
I didn't know what the definition of like a one-liner was. Like,
Oh,
Where's your mic, Trey?
I'll get it.
We forgot you because we can't miss stuff like what Trey just said.
Maybe you should wait 30 minutes and then join the podcast.
Trey just said he wasn't sure what the definition of a one-liner was.
Yeah.
So we need to go ahead and get that mic up.
At least 40 liners. Jessica usually does about 30 liners, and I do 40 liners.
Yeah, I do. I mean, at least 3 or 4. Yeah, that was one of the things I just did a roast battle with Joe Gomez, and that was one of the things that I noticed that I really do have to be better at. It's like being tighter like that.
I don't know. Here, I'm gonna branch this. I want to steer this away from us talking about stand-up comedy. No, it's okay because I was doing it too. I think of all of us all the time, like anybody who's like pursuing like any sort of arts. Like we should always challenge ourselves, but we should also like all the way stay true to ourselves, you know? And I think the most important part for any of us as stand-up comedians is to try to be really funny.
Right.
And everything else is like form and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just making it better.
Yeah, just
tightening
making it
up.
better.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, like but that's the thing is I think that I have like a lot of friends of mine like I hanging out with Pat, right? So Pat's a cartoonist and he was telling me like inside baseball, like cartoonist stuff. Like there's a thing where if you're making a cartoon and you're trying to make a funny cartoon, you don't want to write something and illustrate it too. Like he said basically like if you were writing a cartoon, you would never write "It's a dark and stormy night." You would draw a dark and stormy night because if you know what it looks like, you know what I mean? It's corny. Like you wouldn't want that. He also told me this other stuff. Get this right. He told me this is it a portrait. So there's portraits and there's caricatures. Like there's 2 ways to draw. You could a caricature. Am I saying that right?
A character?
A caricature?
Yeah, I think so.
And a portrait. And he said a portrait is a compliment and a caricature is an insult.
Yeah.
However, this is where it gets weird, and I'm going to tie it back into stand-up, right? It's like, you know when you're on roast battles with your friends or whatever, and you make fun of your friends? Mm-hmm. And, like, I have said incredibly insulting things to you, and you've said incredibly insulting things to me.
Just in regular life.
Yeah, like 30 minutes ago,
right.
You showed me your schedule, and you have, like, a bunch of shows booked, and I made fun of you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But to me, when another comedian makes fun of me, as long as they're my friend and I trust them, that makes me feel closer to them because they know that they can trust me to not take it seriously, even if what they're saying is based in a truth that maybe I'm uncomfortable about.
Right.
Like, I wish I wasn't so goddamn needy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wish I wasn't, you know?
Right. Well, because you were making fun of me because you wanted to get back to talking about you.
Yeah.
Right. So what was happening?
Yeah, because I got a lot of great stuff.
No, I know you do. So if we could just shift it back.
Yeah, because I think at my core, you know, and I've been able to really dive into this lately. It's like I was the reason why I got funny before I did stand up is that I was terrified that people would not want me around.
Yeah.
And so if I could make somebody laugh, that's almost like if somebody's laughing, that's a guarantee that they're not going to be like, "Hey Sam, when were you going to leave?"
Right.
Because I've had people like when I was like going through my shit, you know, being like rejected by people like crushes me.
Mhm.
Like I'd rather have somebody like angry at me, like wanting to fight me, than just telling me that they'd like rather not have me around. Like to me, it's like I don't know. It's always been like, and the thing is it like that dive into darkness that's inside of me. The flip side of that is this incredible like ability to like craft
Right.
humorous stuff. Like I'm not funny because I want to be. I'm funny because I have to be. And that urge does not come from a good place at all.
You don't think so? I guess for like, I think if you could tell a story and it be funny, it would definitely be better than telling a story that isn't funny. I mean, I got into a lot of trouble in rehab for that.
Yeah.
Because they don't like that kind of stuff in rehab. They don't like
No.
for you to tell jokes and like for you to laugh at. But I don't know how to if there's a punchline, I'm going to find it. And
Yeah,
I don't.
because you know what I mean is that's a compulsion. Like
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
like you have to
Yeah.
do that. Because I think too, one of the reasons that I wanted to start this podcast with you specifically is that we both have seen some of the worst things that this world can have to offer.
Yeah.
We've talked, and there's stuff that I'm never going to talk about publicly that I've told you about things that happened to me when, like, when you mess around with bad folks and stuff that can happen to you, and from there to last night in Bellingham, where there's like a flash. Here I go. I'm talking about comedy again, but like that, there is like this flash of like I saw something last night that I've never seen in myself, and for a minute, like I did this punchline and it hit in a way like, and I was riffing too. Like this wasn't like prepared material. I actually like put myself in the crowd and pretended that I was watching me for a minute, and it blew my mind. I was like kind of tripping out too, because I was in Redding, California on Wednesday. So it was like I did the math. It was like something like 1,800 miles and like 6 shows, 5 days. And like, I'm tired. And the only thing that was like getting me up enough was like that adrenaline and that dopamine from like performing. And it's weird because like when your brain has that, like you have a brain and it's working, right? And then that dopamine is adrenaline is added, right? But honestly, last night I felt like all I had was the dopamine and adrenaline. There was like no other brain there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So like when I felt like, it was weird because I wound up riffing for, I don't know, 25 minutes about all kinds of stuff. And it's literally because like, it's not that I didn't want to do material. It's just that I don't think I could.
Right.
I don't think I was able to.
Were you just talking with the audience? Like,
there was some crowd work.
Like,
yeah, I roasted a guy with a mullet. There was a really tall guy with a mullet, and I was like, man, you're so tall, nobody's even knows you got a mullet except for me, because I'm tall too. I can see that stuff. And then I compared him to a plant that was up on stage that also had a dumb haircut.
A nice mullet. Nice.
Yeah, I do this thing too when I do comedy. Like, I don't want to pick on folks. I rarely, unless they're being out of pocket, like I usually just pick on other white dudes. Like that's what I do. And not only do I pick on other white dudes, I'll find like the coolest looking, biggest, like seems like he's got the most going for him dude. And that's who I go after.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because that cracks me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like really tall, good looking young man, like
with
had a cute date and just this awful haircut. And I was like, I asked him what he did, and he said he was like he brewed beer. And
of course he did.
I told him, I was like, dude, I'm so glad you didn't say doctor or something. Cause I was like, if I was getting my appendix out and you walked into that, like
with that haircut,
that room, I don't care if I was already cut open or not. I'm out. I'm like, staple me up. I'm going across town.
I don't know. I mean, If you can work on a car, you can work on a
Man.
body. I mean, come on.
I like Trey gave us these little rubber coasters so we don't make noise, and now I'm making noise with the
With the
rubber
coaster.
coaster. It's like I'm over here playing pogs with it. Is this professional? I don't know.
I think that's fine.
That's what he wants.
Mhm.
We got to do this.
Spons.
We're about to make the announcement. Yes. We have wonderful sponsors for this podcast, and they're all downtown Olympia businesses that I love. I want you to support them. And those sponsors are Old School Pizzeria, Deschutes River Cyclery, and Bar Francis Coffee. Okay, so you could actually go there. Check it out. Do you know what you could do with our sponsors?
Tell me.
They're all literally within, all our sponsors are within like 2 blocks of each other. Do you know that? Trey? Isn't that crazy?
Convenient? Isn't that convenient,
Yeah.
Trey?
You can,
All of the
It
sponsors.
is very convenient.
Yeah, all the sponsors are right there together. You could grab a pizza,
yeah,
grab a coffee,
yeah.
go get your bike checked.
What street is it on?
Thank
4th
you.
Avenue is where Deschutes River Cyclery. It's on like 4th and Franklin. Wait, no, not 4th and Franklin, 4th and Adams, right there on that block. Same block that McCoy's and the Voyeur is on. And then Old School Pizzeria are on Franklin between 4th and State.
By the water.
No. Why
It's
are
worth
you
a try.
talking about that? You're not even from Olympia.
I was trying to.
Just let me do this
I wanted
part.
to feel like it was like by the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're going to tell people that these places are underwater and people are going to drown looking for them.
I just wanted it to be by the water. Okay, fine. It's not by the water. All right.
Wait, where are you going, Trey?
He has to wipe his nose.
No. I'll see you in an hour. You know what?
him
You
30
since you were
minutes.
late, maybe you should leave early too. It seems
Did you have a doctor's appointment? Jeez
I feel
Louise.
bad for Trey. Like not like bad enough to be
No,
nice
not
to
make fun of him.
Yeah.
No.
I had something that I wanted to ask you about that we've talked about a little bit
Okay.
that I think everybody wanted to know. But at one point in your life, you attempted to serve our country.
I did.
There was. Can you explain like your army attempt?
I don't. It was a failed attempt. But I did. I was dating my high school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was in high school was when 9/11 happened. I don't know if you guys remember 9/11.
I actually forgot.
Or not.
They told me not.
Yeah, I
to,
think you're not supposed to forget. But that's not funny. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Trey's laughing.
Yeah, and so they were when they were doing basically it was like a buddy program. Like you could like not even kidding. Like you join the military together. And you could join and then like the whole thing was that you join together, you could get like the same MOS and then you go off to
You're with your high school sweetheart?
well, yes, my
That was your
boyfriend.
buddy in the
That was supposed to be my battle
Okay,
buddy,
okay.
right? And so I thought that the whole thing was we were going to do all of this together. We were going to go to boot camp together. We were going to go to our special school together, all that. I ended up getting shipped off first. So
Wait, you made it through. See, for some reason, I didn't think you made it through basic.
well, no, I mean to basic. I got
made it
sent,
to. Oh, you got shipped
I got
off
sent to
basic.
basic.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
to basic first. Sorry, I didn't say
Did
sent
he not
off,
get
what I'm
sent in
saying.
time because he like failed a UA or something?
Well, he didn't end up going.
Oh, he chickened out.
He just didn't. He just sent me. I ended up getting a letter when I was in boot camp, telling me that he had changed his mind and that
Did
he was.
he send you the letter? Or did the army send you?
No,
the letter?
he sent me the letter. Yeah, my high
Oh
school
my
sweetheart.
god!
Mhm.
How long were y'all together?
Oh, we had been together since like 6th grade.
Oh my god! And you guys were gonna join the army together?
We
And he
did
chickened
join
out?
the army together. I was in the army.
No, but he never was in the army.
He had joined as well, but you have like I guess you have like time before where you can change your mind, and he changed his mind,
So he never went to boot camp.
so he never left.
But you went to boot camp.
I was in boot camp when I got the message that he wasn't coming.
What happened? What was boot camp like?
Well, the first thing that happened is I remember them saying, smoke them if you got them.
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
really exciting because I was
Yeah.
like, wait, you can smoke
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, they were like, smoke them if you got them, and you were like, I got them.
I did not have them.
Oh no!
Of course you didn't have them. They take
And
them
you
from
bum
you.
them, right?
No one had
Oh,
cigarettes.
okay.
That was the whole point. They were just fucking with you.
Oh,
They were just
I
trying to
see.
make you sad.
Yeah.
They were like, sure, you can smoke.
Like you're not sad enough. You're already joining the
Right.
army.
One of the first things that happened is there was a boot camp guy. I can't even remember what the hell their name. A sergeant.
Drill
Drill
sergeant.
sergeant.
A drill sergeant. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble.
We had a boot camp guy that was yelling at us. Wore a hat.
But my last name, my maiden name is Young. And so I went with this girl, and we were like, she had to ask him a question. He looked at me and he was like, Young. He was like, young blood. What's up, young blood? And I started laughing.
Oh no, you can't laugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
my
I
God.
didn't get that memo.
Yeah.
Did not. Me and my friend were on our faces, just in push-up position
Yeah.
for quite some time because I laughed at that one. But yeah, no, boot camp was exactly like they portray it to be. Like I remember one time I was trying to climb up a hill and I wasn't getting anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was because there was a drill sergeant standing on my helmet.
So messed up.
Yeah.
It seems like just like a lot of it seems like bullying.
Yeah, there's a good yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that's their whole I think that's why they do that.
This is sick.
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you think if the boy would have come with you, would that have changed the trajectory of
100%. Yeah, totally. Because I chickened out. And then I freaked out. I spent a lot of time. I was already freaking out anyway, but I was eating my feelings in the chow hall, just shoving it in. And I was the only person I think who came back from boot camp like heavier than they left, like, and not in like a bulky way. Yeah. And so I freaked out and I was nervous. I was thinking that I wasn't going to pass my PT test. So I have Osgood slaughters in my knees. Yeah. And so I was like,
I
okay.
don't know anybody else with that.
Yeah.
Osgood the Schlager?
Osgood Schlatter?
Yeah.
Osgood Schlachter?
It's really funny because you're not tall.
It's like
That's not
it's
very
like
he's right there.
A tall person
Yeah.
thing.
it's like hairline,
It's like medium
hairline
size.
fractures in your knees. It's like little hairline, little stuff in like the
It
bottom
gives
of
you
your
these
knees.
like awesome,
Did
like,
little
you-
bumps on
don't-
you up that big old bump right there.
like a bump on
You got a
your-
bump right there?
Yeah. And so like,
Whoa,
yours is
that's
huge.
weird.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
so like they keep you from. So and then when
Y'all got doo-doo
we got
knees.
bumps. Yeah.
Bad knees, man.
It's not good.
I can't believe they let you in the army with those bad knees.
Well, if you don't tell them, if you don't point it out, because you could get through it. It's not. I could have pushed through.
Did you finish boot camp?
No, I was
How close
I
were you?
was just about to do my final PT test. And
So
but
you were almost through
I was almost done, but I was scared.
and you lost it?
I was scared. I was too afraid. I was afraid that I wasn't going to pass my PT test and I was going to get held back in boot camp.
Oh no, you
And-
got to repeat the grade.
and then I would have to do it again, which was really embarrassing.
Yeah,
And then Tim not,
being there.
coming and
What were other soldiers like cool, or the pre-soldiers? What do you call them when they're in boot camp? Recruits? Yeah, recruits, not pre-soldiers.
they're just soldiers.
Were
Yeah.
they cool with you, or like did you get a lot
Yeah.
of people?
Yeah.
Were they from all over the country?
They were from everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of them
like,
talked funny.
mostly just me.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I don't remember anybody having like any aggressive accents or anything. There wasn't anybody there that,
This is amazing.
yeah. But yeah, so I went to, and I told him about my knees and I was like, you're going to have to send me home. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they sent me home. And then Tim was waiting for me at the airport and I'm like, what is,
Oh wow, was that the end of that?
yeah.
Yeah, good for you,
And so that
Jess.
was when we broke up.
Man, that shit's crazy. I'm so glad. That's such a good story.
Nuts. Yeah.
Like we talked about it a little bit on the road. Like I knew that you were like messing around with some army stuff, but I didn't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried there.
That was cool.
Yeah. I gave it a go. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, no, that was fire.
But I got way too scared. So you didn't want me, because I definitely would have gotten shipped off to war 100%.
Oh yeah,
That
it was
I
after
couldn't even make it
9/11,
through
yeah.
boot camp.
Most
I'm
of the
definitely.
cats. By the way, I want to say this too. Like, I'm making jokes and stuff like that, but I have a lot of respect for like veterans and soldiers and stuff. I don't like the government or whatever. Like, I don't really like. I never have and I never will. I don't like any governments, but that's not what this podcast is about.
At all.
Not really. No. But I don't have like, I understand like people joining the army, and I think people in the army, like it's it's different. I wrote jokes.
Let's hear them.
Oh
wait, we gotta say them.
You
You have to hear them, right?
Yeah, that's my whole thing.
Okay.
And by the way, before I do this thing, I want people to know that not only am I aware that Norm Macdonald did this on his podcast, that's where I got the idea.
It's kind of a tribute.
No, it's not. No, well, it is, because I love Norm Macdonald.
Right, we could say it's a tribute, and then it's not.
And I'm
stealing.
proud of it. I'm gonna try to write good ones, but honestly, these ones start kind of slow, but then I think they get better.
Okay.
Okay, here, Jess, you can start with number 1 there.
All right. The Goodyear blimp is on notice.
Because they blew up the Chinese spy balloon.
What year is this? When did you write this?
No, because
You didn't hear about that?
They blew up the
Did that
Chinese
just
spy
happen?
balloon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I got you.
You get that, Jen?
Okay,
This is
sorry, I
Goodyear
was
blimp is on
thinking.
notice.
I get it.
You're doing
I
number
did see
2,
the
Trey.
meme.
I used to live in a really rough neighborhood, but I figured out a great strategy to not get robbed. Not having shit.
It's pretty smart, really. All right, I like this one, number 3.
Thank you. I like how you have to. I saw a guy on a BMX bike with a weed whacker on his shoulder and reading California. And I know that the chances are he probably stole it, but there's a chance that he's just a humble landscaper trying to get back on his feet.
I really did see that thing. I did comedy at the Wind River Casino on Wednesday. And right when I pulled in, I saw a dude on a BMX bike with a weed whacker on his shoulder. And I was just like, damn, like times are tough.
Was he just had it, right? He wasn't using it to like propel himself?
No. He just had a
To
weed whacker
propel
on his
himself.
shoulder.
He was using it to go faster on the bike.
Yeah. I've been telling this
funny.
joke. I've been working on this joke. Like, I know a lot of gay fellas, right? And they got like gaydar. Like, they can find other gay dudes and shit like that. And like, I haven't used methamphetamine in like 14 years. But like, I have like meth dar. Like, I can
It's
see
fun.
that shit. So if I see a dude on a, like, I mean, anybody, you know, something like that dude, like, that was wild, man. This one is, I think this one might be my favorite. Number 4. There.
Number 4?
Yeah.
There's always that split second when you're on a submarine and you're like, I'm done for.
I bet there's a lot of split second. Wait,
Did you not hear that joke? You didn't
say it again. Yeah, I did. I guess I don't get it. I'm not a smart person.
Do you get it?
I don't think I might not get I don't think I
You
get
don't
it.
get
Is there a
either?
split
There's
second
always
like
a
that?
split second when you're on a submarine and you're like, I'm done for.
You're like, oh shit, I'm sinking. And you're like, oh wait, it's a submarine.
I feel like I would do that like every
I
time. Every
probably
time it
need to
creaks.
say, I probably need to say more for that joke to work. But you see what I'm saying?
Because I was like, have you been on a submarine? That
No.
was my first.
Hey, if I was in the
Have
Navy,
you
I'm
been-
actually not, I wouldn't be allowed on a submarine. I'm too big.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you be allowed in any stuff like that? You're huge.
When they let you on a boat. Are you trying to say when they
Yeah,
let
the
him on
only
a
thing I
boat?
could be, yeah,
Like
I
you couldn't
could.
fit in a tank or
No, I wouldn't be on a tank. I'm too big for tanks. I'm too big for submarines. The only
That's
thing I
gotta be
could
a
do in
good
the
feeling.
army is pull broken down machinery like an oxen. That's all
Hmm.
they'd use me for. Or they'd put me in front of something expensive.
or cook.
Or cook. Yeah, they're like, he knows how to cook.
Obviously.
Yeah, make some eggs, fatty.
Too big for tanks.
Right. What is it, number
Humble
5?
brag. Contact lenses are great for helping you see, but I just jammed some in my ear holes, and honestly, my hearing has gotten worse.
Are these any good?
That one was pretty. That one was probably my favorite so far.
Okay, good.
I just jammed some in my ear hole.
Okay, good, number 6.
I like how we have to pass it to Sam so that he can tell us what number we're on.
The best part about smoking meth is never going to Applebee's.
What? I love Applebee's.
I like that.
Because you're not allowed in there.
No, it's just, you just don't go there. One time, my sister, when I was high and homeless, my sister wanted to do something nice for me, and she didn't want me to like get drunk or do drugs. And she got me a gift certificate to Olive Garden, and I sat in the booth at Olive Garden and drank 3 bottles of wine.
Oh.
I was like, "Can I get wine with a gift certificate?" She's like, "Sure," and I was like, "All right, 3 of your cheapest bottles of wine, please." It was messed up. I got hella drunk at that Olive Garden.
It's like it's sad and awesome.
Dude, I barfed it. It was just bread and wine. Because they had the free breadsticks.
Yeah, I was gonna say to have some salad while you're there.
Yeah, I kept deciding like I didn't know what I wanted to order.
Let me get another bottle and I'll think about it.
Yeah, just smashing these breadsticks. It was gross.
Okay, see, I should have passed it to you. What number are we on?
I think
Number 7. When I worked for the Forest Service, I used to fly on helicopters sometimes. I used to think all it takes is one little bolt to break, and this whole thing will fall out of the sky and hopefully hit the ground very hard so I can finally leave this horrible planet.
That's really depressing joke.
I'm confused on how they let you on a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
And not a submarine.
Yeah, well, you'd never
we've
get
got
on
questions.
a helicopter because you'd be late.
Whenever I get
Wait.
They would
Let me
leave.
see this one.
They
Wait,
would
I want to
leave.
know. Okay. I think number 9 might be the best joke I've ever written, but this is number 8. So,
whenever I get a Christmas present from my mom, I'm reminded that not all white rappers are trash.
see?
That's hilarious. Okay, that one's pretty funny.
Okay, I think this is the best joke I've ever written. Wait. Do it. You got a drum roll?
No.
God dang, no air horns, no drum rolls. What does that thing even do? God damn. Well, get the
We get to
claps ready.
clapping.
Get the claps ready.
Okay. It's amazing that geese can fly in a V, especially considering that most of them are illiterate. Is that a known fact?
Yeah.
The
Most of them
geese are
can't read.
illiterate?
Some of them read a little bit,
Yeah.
but just signs.
Well, I did want to tell you that they only read signs, street signs.
You didn't think that was a good joke?
I did think it was a good joke. I did want to tell you that your fun fact from last week caused an argument in the Anderson home.
Why?
Well, Dane and I were trying to figure out, he did not believe that a bat was a mammal. And I was like, well, luckily.
That's just dumb. They are mammals.
Well, Trey and I can't really say anything because we didn't know what a mammal was. But yeah, it did cause, it was, but he did look it up and you were correct.
Yeah.
So good for you. You were right. I thought that you would be a little bit more excited about that.
No, I'm not. I'm honestly just really worried about Dane. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. Do you want to know something that I learned?
Yeah.
Just now, because I forgot to do research for this.
Tell me.
That penguins will propose to their penguin women by giving them a small pebble.
Is that how we came up with the idea?
No, but they made a stupid joke on that about it.
What
But
was it?
you went there, which was good. They were
Oh.
like, "That's what they mean by giving them the rock."
Oh.
Yeah, but you stopped yourself, which was good. 'Cause you're a better writer than the people at
Well, they had the joke.
countryliving.com where I looked this up.
Well, some
50
of it.
strange and fascinating facts about animals.
So you're saying I could have a career over there?
Yeah. Oh my God. A blue whale's blowhole can spray water 30 feet in the air.
That makes sense.
Imagine what their penises can do.
I don't. Trey.
This is really going downhill. I think we're getting close.
I think we've done great.
Jess,
Yes,
did you take your meds?
I did. Well, I took one of them.
Are you supposed to take more?
I am supposed to take
Why'd
one.
you only take the one?
Well, I took the one because I accidentally didn't take my meds last night or yesterday until like 9:00 last night. So I didn't want to retake all of them again this morning. Trey.
Holy shit.
God, Trey.
All right.
Trey.
I want to hear what you're about to say.
I'm kidding. I can't.
No,
I cannot.
There's nothing that I can say that won't say as much as that ringing noise we just heard.
I mean, the amount of professionalism that you were lacking. I
What
mean,
was
it's
that?
astounding.
Was that a phone call
Was
or
that
an
your?
alarm?
That's your morning.
That's
his alarm.
That's when I'm supposed to let out my dogs on a normal day.
Yeah, but this isn't a normal day.
He didn't know
No,
that, though.
not really.
No, it's really not. Yeah, we really
He
fucking
says-
you up. Yeah, I know we're really kind of causing you a lot of problems here. I really we should be grateful that
Yeah.
you came in at all.
Right. Yeah, I
That's
think
how I
that's the
feel.
part that we're missing.
I came straight here.
Well, good. I'm glad you didn't stop because
No,
then
like
you would
I
have been. Then you would have been more late.
I didn't shower, just ran straight here. Brush my
Yeah.
teeth. brush
You
my
actually,
teeth, and that's
I
it.
can't smell you, so maybe you could just skip one today. Sometimes
That's
I skip
good.
a shower.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Trey, for doing that for us.
Yeah.
Even though you were supposed to be here at 9:00.
One more time, our sponsors: Old School Pizzeria, Bar Francis, Deschutes River Cyclery, all in Olympia. They're fantastic. I want you to go in there and say, "We heard about you on the Tarp report with Sam Miller." Right after he talked about the whale's dick.
And Jess
And Jess.
is on the podcast too.
And Jess is on the podcast too, but she didn't like it when I talked about the whale dick.
Please, you don't need to. If you mention my name, you don't have to mention the whale dick. So,
Hey, the whopper.
and then we could find out how many people mention whale dick.
Don't go into those businesses and talk about whale dick. I'm actually regretting bringing it up at all. It was kind of weird.
yeah.
Trey gave me a weird look, but then his phone went off and I didn't care.
Yeah, I went to a dark place.
Mm-hmm. Amen. This, I think the first episode had way better vibes.
I'm sad that you said that.
Well, I think this might have been a better episode,
Yeah.
but the first episode definitely had better vibes.
You think it was a little bit more fun?
Yeah, I think I'm like on one right now.
What do you mean?
Like, you know what's funny? As I was thinking about coming in here and doing this podcast today, like I am tired of talking.
you
to
were very
people.
serious, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
okay. But I feel like we got to let it. We needed to get some.
Yeah,
some
I'm
groundwork.
gonna go have, he's another guy. I'm gonna go have lunch with my friend Jake after this, and we worked at the during the pandemic. If folks don't know, I worked at a shelter for unhoused youth in Tacoma, and he was my boss forever, and we're just really close.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, did you meet Jake?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I met him in Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've gotten really close with Jake and his family, and we do like play dates and stuff. And so, yeah.
Well, hopefully Jake will make you in a better mood.
I'm already like, I'm not like, it's weird. Like, I'm not like mad or sad or like anything. I just kind of want to like not do anything for a while. I've just been doing things. Like I feel like this comedy stuff is like kind of going well right now. And I feel like if I let off the gas, like I might miss an opportunity, which is sort of true. And so I do have like stuff I got to work on when I get home. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I actually feel a little bit better now that I came in here. I like Trey and I like Jess.
Oh, well, look at that. You just turned it around.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, do you have anything?
I felt like this went great. I
You
feel
like
like
this one?
yeah,
I feel like I
this-
talked too much.
You talked a lot, but I feel like that's not abnormal. I think you're the only one that's surprised by that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not
You-
surprised by it.
Yeah, you're chatty.
The first episode, I felt like you talked more.
Yeah, but the first thing you asked me was about like my childhood. I don't even feel like it was dark. It got dark early.
Yeah.
In the other one.
Yeah. I should have asked somebody else about their childhood.
Yeah,
That would've
anybody
been
else,
more-
anyone
That
else.
would have been more exciting. I should have been like, can you tell me about your childhood and also make stuff up?
It's true.
Kind of a bummer.
Yeah. No, I think it went great.
My childhood was really, really good.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Every part.
Well, you don't need to brag about it.
Yeah, it was cool.
You want to get into it?
No, I'm not talking about it. Maybe next episode. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. This is it.
Well, great. I got to go to work anyway.
Yeah, you gotta go to work. All right.
This
Trey?
has been right. How do we end? I want to end it with the Tarp report. It covered. Well, it didn't really cover anything.
What do you mean? We talked about great stuff.
It covers everything.
Yeah, it does cover everything. Thank you for listening. Make sure whatever app you're listening to, I know iTunes, and I just know that people say this on a podcast. I want this podcast to be successful, and for that to happen, I need you guys to like rate it. I also want to let you know that if you're listening to this and you enjoy me or Jess's comedy, look us up on social media. I am Sam Miller Comedian on just about everything. And you can go to my website at sammillercomedy.com. It's got all my stuff on there. Jess?
I am at Coach Smoach on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coach Smoach on everything.
Smoach.
And
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I want to say this, man. We're recording this live at Nate Jackson Super Funny Comedy
We
Club on Hosmer in Tacoma. It's the best comedy club in the country. They just got done having Tiffany Haddish. DL Hughley the weekend before that. It's
No big
a
deal.
crazy month here. Who's here next week? Do you know?
Right. And then they got, oh man, it's just,
Let's go.
they're that good. They're that good. Trey,
Yeah. Oh,
Trey, we're
man.
going to have a conversation.
Trey, man,
after.
I
We're gonna
want
have
no.
a conversation
This is
after
what I
this.
want it to be. This makes me so happy. It's so funny.
I don't remember who. I haven't seen a flyer. I can't.
It's
think.
huge, though. I know this whole month is like nothing but like just enormous stars. It's crazy. Wait, Jess is looking it up real quick.
I can't remember if it's common.
Well, it doesn't matter because by the time we talk about it, it's going to be
it's
over,
over.
anyway. Yeah. So yeah, they're not
Never
even going
mind.
to see it. Also, yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Great job.
Great job.
Make good choices.